raid protests. And some of them in masks clashed with law enforcement.
When the protesters came out in their thousands here in downtown LA and things really became chaotic and extremely violent. At one point, the protesters took over parts of the 101 freeway, which goes right through the heart of downtown. They were setting on fire some of those Waymo vehicles. Those are the self-driving robo-taxis that are a common sight on the streets of Los Angeles these days.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt in downtown LA, which is now declared an unlawful assembly area with National Guard troops
guarding the Metropolitan Detention Center, where protesters believe some of those caught up in the raids over the last few days are still being held.
President Trump deployed that National Guard and has Marines on standby.
We got to see what we need. We'll send whatever we need to make sure there's law and order.
But LA's Mayor Karen Bass and California Governor Gavin Newsom, both Democrats, don't want the National Guard troops, claiming the president made things worse. Newsom says he's acting like a dictator. President Trump's new travel ban takes effect today for 12 countries. It's a total restriction, including Afghanistan, Iran, and Yemen, on concern they don't properly vet those who'd come here. 7 other countries have partial restrictions, including Venezuela and Cuba. Drama outside of Gaza. Climate activist Greta Thunberg claims she was kidnapped by Israel when the boat she was on, carrying food and aid to Palestinians in Gaza, which Israel's blockaded, was intercepted.
Israel's foreign ministry says the activists are making their way safely to Israel, where they'll be shown a video of the attack by Hamas on October 7th, 2023. It's branded the venture a selfie yacht carrying less than 1 truckload of aid.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. A new round of U.S.-China trade talks about to get underway now in London. America's listening to Fox News.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
2815 Old Jacksonville, Springfield. CordellCordell.com.
Hey, it's Mike Rowe, and if you want to do business with a company that actually stands for something, switch to Pure Talk. I did. Sure, I appreciate being on America's most dependable 5G network with unlimited talk and text for just $20 a month, but what I really appreciate is Pure Talk's commitment to our military and to our skilled workforce. That matters to me. Save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
Well, the Senate keeps considering the big, beautiful budget bill, as President Trump calls it, with increased border security and military funding and an extension for the 2017 tax cuts. Some Republicans keep demanding more spending cuts be included. And speaking of cuts, the House wants to implement some of the reductions in spending DOJ targeted.
$9.4 billion are set to be on the chopping block as House Majority Leader Steve Scalise has introduced legislation to match the Trump administration's rescission request. A rescission allows the White House to cut funding with a simple majority in both the House and Senate. Included are cuts to foreign aid and public broadcasting that will be voted on this week. Scalise says this will be the first step in reducing wasteful government spending, while Democrats are pushing back, arguing some of the funding provides life-saving services like combating HIV in Africa. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising modestly before this week's trading. In the NBA Finals, the Thunder get even.
Gilgeous-Alexander inside, banks it home. We've got a Thunder avalanche here in Game 2.
The NBA Finals are all tied 1 game apiece. On ABC last night, Oklahoma City built a 23-point lead at home against Indiana and beat the Pacers 123-107. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the league's most valuable player, followed his 38-point performance from Game 1 with 34 points last night, when unlike Game 1, Oklahoma City did not let a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter slip away.
Fox's Jared Max. Hockey's Stanley Cup final rematch resumes tonight in Florida. The defending champion Panthers host the Edmonton Oilers in Game 3. The NHL final is tied 1-1. At tennis's French Open, Carlos Alcaraz was the repeat winner. He lost the first 2 sets to Jannik Sinner, and then Alcaraz rallied to win the Grand Slam tournament in a 5th-set tiebreaker.
Today was all about to believe in myself.
I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. University of Wisconsin Provost Charles Lee Isbell Jr. set to become the 11th chancellor at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. Isbell Jr. will also take over as the vice president of the University of Illinois system, pending approval by the U of I Board of Trustees. OSF Healthcare Medical Centers in Urbana and Danville merging together as one hospital with two campuses. Urbana campus will focus on providing inpatient behavioral health services, emergency services, and inpatient beds, as well as diagnostics, lab, and other clinic offerings will remain at the Urbana campus. And the Illinois Democratic plan to ban move-in fees and other rental junk fees stalled in the Senate as it was never called to a floor vote. Junk fees that would have been banned include fees that are put alongside an application fee, a lease renewal fee, eviction notice or eviction fee, routine or after-hours maintenance fee, and a fee to set up an online utility account. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
And a good Monday morning, friends. It is 7:06. I'm Stevie J. There's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
A lot to talk about today. L.A. is exploding. Yeah. We'll have Jonathan Hunt. He's the chief correspondent for Fox Television. He is standing by doing all kinds of hits this morning on Fox TV, and we'll grab him on the phone here in just a few. Meteorologist Greg Solier, man, if you're in the 70s and it's U9, you got to like that, Bubba. I mean, that's good.
But those summer crops need a little more warmth and heat on them around here. Well, we'll get that. There are warmer days ahead, so and more humidity, and still more rain in the forecast here as we approach the mid-stretch of the month of June. So it's kind of a win-win for everybody.
Well, are you still kind of bullish on potential no rain for a while later this summer?
Yeah, I think it's going to take a while. I mean, the bits and pieces of the pattern are there, but I think it's really going to take ramping up of the Atlantic tropical season basin, and that's going to be probably into July and August. So we may ultimately, in some areas of the Corn Belt, kind of catch a break on all this dry and drought-ridden talk. At least that's the thinking around here. That's when we were out in Iowa. We were kicking those ideas around that, if we get through June, there may be areas that are a little problematic. Others are going to be okay, and so others are a little bit too wet. And right down the middle, it could be very well here where we get through relatively unscathed. We'll keep you posted.
Good shot. That sounds good. Our weather this morning brought to you by Carl.
Carl reminds you, should a medical crisis occur, you should have a plan. You can learn more at carl.org.
All right, sir. Talk to me. It's the week of June 9.
Yes, it is. And a delightful 60-degree reading over at Willard and Savoy. Now 59 at Danville, 57 at Bloomington Normal. Very comfortable readings, as you pointed out, for a June 9. Weekend rainfall off to the east across Ohio. Some pretty good rains there this morning, dribbling down to a couple of sprinkles south of Terre Haute. And there's some showers kind of upstream, if you will, through parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin. That system will auger south and eastward, has another wedge of some comfortable air with it. But we may spark a shower thunderstorm in just a couple of spots from Danville and Champaign and then I-72-74 corridor on northward. Maybe a stronger storm up towards the Kankakee. Boy, Batavia, Illinois, west of Chicago, 83-mile-an-hour winds at that Fermi Lab, and $0.5 size hail yesterday. Hopefully much quieter there today. And a high temperature here of 78 as skies turn partly sunny this afternoon. Gusty southwest wind will turn to the west this evening, becoming fair in the overnight and diminishing wind too. Low down to 56. Sunshine at 77 tomorrow, 85 Wednesday, 88 Thursday. Nice warm up there. Humidity comes into play. A couple of frontal boundaries will approach, then stall. Disturbances along it, and shower thunderstorm chances are just that for Friday. Partly sunny at 85, but likely across the area Saturday and Sunday. But there'll be dry hours too. Weekend highs into the low and mid 80s. For CBJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
He is Los Angeles-based chief correspondent for Fox News, Jonathan Hunt, the talented one. How are you? And good morning. And oh my gosh, where were you when you first heard something's going on in L.A.? Friday night?
Good morning to you guys. Yeah, I was actually on air hosting Fox News at night Friday night when this really started kicking off in terms of the protest. And it was interesting. I was watching our live shots with the pictures coming in, obviously, and it struck me then that the LAPD was moving pretty slowly, and that has been one of the complaints of federal agents here, and of course of the Trump administration, that the LAPD didn't move quickly enough. That was one of the reasons President Trump cited for sending in, federalizing and sending in members of the National Guard. And as I sit here now in downtown L.A., the presence of the National Guard is very, very obvious. They're outside the Metropolitan Detention Center where I am right now, guarding that facility, which has been a particular target for the protesters, and they are at various points around downtown L.A. The police presence now, wasn't on Friday night, but now is huge, and I can tell you it is a very, very tense situation here. No protesters on the streets, hardly at all, at what is, after all, 4:30 in the morning here. But more protests planned for today, so it's going to remain very tense on the streets of LA.
Okay, so who's funding this, Jonathan? Do we know?
Who's funding the protest?
Yeah, who's bringing all these cinder blocks in big bulk pallets? Who's doing that?
Well, I can't tell you who specifically is funding this, but obviously we have seen in the past these protests are organized. There are various organizations behind them. You can find them all on X, formerly Twitter. They're calling for these protests. They're gathering people up. And obviously, you know, we have to be honest as well. Any kind of protest always has some level of organization. That is how it becomes a protest. You get these calls for people to get out on the streets. So there is organization in that sense. But yeah, there are organizations behind this that have mobilized from the beginning of the first Trump administration. In reality, they are determined to make their point. There are a lot of pro-immigration groups here in the LA area. They are part of this as well. So, yeah, there are funds available, and there are plenty of people available to come out on these streets in a city like LA, which has so many immigrants, such a big immigrant culture. Obviously, there are a lot of people touched by this, a lot of people willing to get out on the streets. And then, as the LAPD chief said yesterday, not all of these are simply pro-immigrant protesters trying to protect what they see as a good cause, the cause of immigration. There are also, as the LAPD chief said, plenty of people in these protests that are essentially professional protesters. The LAPD chief Jim McConnell said yesterday, these are the people we've seen before in the George Floyd riots, in the anti-Wall Street riots, all of those things. They see the same people. They know who they are. They're here on the streets again over the last few days, and they are the ones driving the violence.
Okay, so we saw a lot of fires. We heard other news outlets say these are peaceful protests again, which wasn't accurate. I saw these blazes going, gasoline going on police cruisers. I mean, are you safe? How far away does Jonathan Hunt have to stay from this?
Well, we just got down here early this morning and said not a lot of protesters on the streets right now. I'll tell you one thing. Nobody, in terms of law enforcement, is playing around down here this morning. We rolled up around 3 a.m., came towards our first roadblock. We have security with us who all have law enforcement badges. One of them put that badge out the window as we approached the first roadblock. They did not care. They dropped a flashbang grenade literally 2 yards in front of our car from a distance of about 40 yards. It was a clear signal. Get out of here. Do not even approach us. We don't care who you are. We drove around downtown a bit. We found another roadblock that we're able to get to. But, yeah, there's a safety issue for everybody here. You know, these police officers, it's really difficult to tell who is who at any time these days. And you get a lot of protesters, as we've seen over the past few years, who will impersonate the media. So everybody's on edge. And, yeah, frankly, it's a dangerous situation. We have security with us. You know, we for better or worse, we've been through a lot of this, a lot of tense situations. We know you go by a gut feeling of what you think is safe. And we work as a team, and we keep everybody as safe as we possibly can. And you know, God willing, we'll stay safe over the coming days, however this plays out.
All right, last minute with Jonathan Hunt. He is LA-based chief correspondent for Fox News. Jonathan, any buzz or on social media about what to expect on this Monday, or do they wait till the weekends? Do they regather? Do we send Marines in? Do you know any more?
Well, certainly the protesters are regathering at 11 a.m. local time here in L.A. They have called for a protest in Grand Park, which is right in the heart of downtown. And the way these things usually work, they gather in one place and then they start moving towards these, in this case, federal buildings. Right where I am, the Metropolitan Detention Center, we would expect to be a target again. So, yeah, there will be protests. Whether they get as many as they did over the weekend, anybody's guess at this point. But they are organized. They are ready to go again. The National Guard is very ready, though, I can tell you that. There are 300 of them on the streets right now. There are more available at a moment's notice. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No. I was just going to say it took 12 hours before it's all Donald Trump's fault, by the way. I've noted that. So it's just always going to be Donald Trump's fault. Always. Jonathan, you're a terrific journalist. We really enjoy watching you on Fox News. You do a great job. Stay safe, and thanks for the minutes.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on. Thanks.
Live from Los Angeles, it's Jonathan Hunt, ESPN 93.5. All right, quick check of our sports headlines.
LA Dodgers beat the St. Louis Cardinals 7-3 yesterday. Here's a recap of the game.
The Redbird Recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. The Cardinals were going for the sweep of the Dodgers yesterday, but the Dodgers wouldn't let them. LA got out of town with a 7-3 win.
Clayton Kershaw continues to pitch well against the Cardinals in regular season, at least, and it is Michael McGreevy, picking up the loss yesterday. He drops to 1-1. Although he gave up runs early, stayed in the game, was able to go 6.
He gave up 3 in the second inning, 1 in the fourth. The Cardinals didn't give up another run until the 7th inning, when Mookie Betts hit a home run to make it a 5-2 game.
The only home run the Dodgers hit in the series, and they're pretty good at that.
Freddie Freeman had just 1 hit in the series.
And he was 0 for 5 yesterday, but the Dodgers still managed 7 runs on 10 hits to avoid the sweep.
7-3 the final for the Dodgers. The Cardinals welcome in the Blue Jays tonight, and it's going to be Jose Barrios, 2-2 for Toronto. Andre Palante, 4-3 for the Cardinals. Airtime tonight, 5:50.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
Detroit shut out the Cubs yesterday 4-0. They've got a series starting up over on US 105.9 against the Phillies with a 5:45 start.
Another good team.
Yes. Yeah. The Cubs will use Matthew Boyd on the bump. We had Kansas City over the Chicago White Sox 7-5. Congratulations, Central. A walk-off homer in the 11th to beat Muhammad Seymour and move on to the Super Sectionals at Milliken. At Oklahoma City over the Indiana Pacers 123-107. And so Game 3 will be in Indianapolis at 7:30 on Wednesday. We have the Stanley Cup playoffs in action also. And at 7 o'clock tonight, that series also tied up at the game apiece as Edmonton's Oilers are in Florida to take on the Panthers. That's sports. I'm Diane DC.
All right, and if anybody wants to tell me more about Champaign Central's run here, 217-359-2255. A lot of this information is not as readily available.
I know. I was just doing an online search.
It isn't. I'll check my online news gazette. They might have something.
Okay,
otherwise, I don't grab this very easily anymore. Mm-hmm. Our weather brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
I remind you, Neighborhood Nights is every Wednesday from 6:30 to 8. A different park and a different group playing for you. Free popcorn and lemonade. The Painkillers at Crystal Lake Park and the Lake House coming up.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Toronto, Champaign, and vicinity. Nice spell of weather heading into this week, especially the first half of the week. A little more rainfall back in the forecast as well. That is still needed and arriving here towards Friday. Matter of fact, might even spring a stray shower thunderstorm in spots from Champaign on northward this afternoon, becoming partly sunny, breezy, up to 78. That southwest wind picking up 12 to 24 and gusty. Tonight, windy, becoming fair early on, and a low down to 56. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, pleasant, light west wind 77. We'll bottom out around 64 tomorrow night. Sunshine and warm up for Wednesday and Thursday. 85 on Wednesday, Thursday high at 88, and a little more humidity sparks a stray shower thunderstorm for the afternoon, particularly Friday, partly sunny at 85, and scattered showers and thunderstorms Saturday, Sunday. Back to dry weather for early next week. Weekend highs of 83 Saturday, 82 on Sunday, and into the 80s for the first part of next week. So warmth and much needed rainfall ahead here the days to come. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm Beetlejuice Greg Soldier.
Set your financial goals. One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy. Your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes, or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Warner Brothers Discovery says it will separate the company into two publicly traded businesses. The streaming and studios company will consist of Warner Brothers Television, Warner Brothers Motion Picture Group, DC Studios, HBO, and HBO Max, as well as the film and television libraries. Global networks will include CNN, TNT, Sports in the U.S., and Discovery, channels across Europe, Discovery Plus streaming, and Bleacher Report. The Wall Street Journal says telecom company EchoStar is preparing a potential bankruptcy filing. EchoStar is parent company of Boost Mobile and Dish Network. U.S. and Chinese officials are meeting today in London to continue trade talks. Investors aren't expecting an actual deal, but progress will be seen as positive. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola. Invested in you.
I'm Charles Payne. Listen to my Unstoppable Prosperity podcast so I can get you making money right now. 35 years on Wall Street taught me how to successfully invest in the stock market. In my 4-part series, I'm going to teach you too. Some of Fox Business's finest join me to help tell my story, impart crucial lessons from my Unstoppable Prosperity book, and to give you the tools to achieve your own financial dreams.
Listen anytime, everywhere at foxbusinesspodcast.com or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.
Well, the events of 2020 dramatically altered the economic landscape as millions of consumers created new online buying behaviors and habits. Well, Busey wants you to be very careful. In June, it's Internet Safety Month, and we can all use a little updating, little knowledge. Keep your computers and mobile devices up to date. Set strong passwords. Watch out for these scams called phishing with a PH, where criminals use fraudulent emails and websites to gather personal info from victims. Keep personal information personal. Secure your internet connection with a password. Shop safely. Ensure the web address begins with HTTPS. And read the site's privacy policies. With constant change in technology, there's always new ways to risk. Really smart people that are bad people when it comes to stealing stuff. Best way to protect yourself, be proactive about it. Busey wants you to be informed of any security issues, scams, or alerts that may impact you. Check out their blog called Money Matters. It is available at Busey.com. Tons of information sitting right there for you. Just go to Busey.com, stay informed, find further resources about online safety. Busey for over 155 years, member FDIC.
Well, I found the story on Central, and they will play Troy Triad today in Decatur at 6 o'clock for the Super Sectionals. And then the winner of today's game will advance to the 3A state semifinals, which begins Friday on June 13th in Joliet.
Okay.
So good luck to the Central Maroons as they face Troy Triad today at 6 in Decatur.
Said Luke McClure was the kid. He had a walk-off homer in the 11th.
Broke that scoreless tie.
Oh, good game from Muhammad Seymour as well. Very good.
Really a battle of the pitching is what was said here of what happened in Lincoln. So
okay, well, good luck to Champaign Central. Still alive. Still alive. All right, 7:24. And we've been tracking what's going on. I felt very O.J. Simpson-like because, again, you could go this weekend and say, what happened? I was out and around on the night O.J. and the white Ford Bronco, and somebody called me that Saturday afternoon and said, did you see, what do you think about the... I said, what are you talking about? And I was indisposed and not able to see anything on any media anywhere, no phone, no nothing. And then all of a sudden this happened. So what happened over the weekend is the crowds gathered on Friday night protesting ICE in L.A., Well, there's some really bad people in L.A. that have been convicted of crimes and felonies.
Yes.
You look at the rap sheet on the people they arrested. And so what they're protesting is the audacity for some sort of authoritarian government by Donald Trump. If you're here illegally, you broke it's a federal law, it's a felony to come in uninvited. Joe Biden's administration will carry on this legacy for generations of the impact they're having, the people dying, the people sexually abused, the people that they're going to be around a long, long time. You're not going to go get everybody. You just can't when the numbers are so big. So they go into L.A. and they're throwing cinder blocks at their cars. They're burning police cruisers They're hurting people. Police officers have been hurt.
What I could see was on a motorcycle, guys with a Mexican flag, and the immigrants that were burning the American flag gathered around. This is, to me, we need some law and order in L.A. right now.
You're either going to agree to a set of laws or you're not, and if you don't, you have chaos. So if you want chaos, this is how you get it. You can't allow the lawbreakers to do this. You can't allow somebody who came into the country, particularly the focus on felonies and the people that have been convicted, and the people that are with them get swept up too, even though they've been here a while and they're illegal. You get sent home. If you self-deport, you get $1,000 and you can apply to come back, but just do it legally. That's been the biggest rub. We're a country of immigrants. We're a country of laws. You just need to do it the right way, and I know it takes too long, and I know that the thing is not very good to get it done quickly.
I'm seeing a camera shot with 3 or 4 vehicles burning. Is that those...
That's peaceful protests right there, Diane. You're making a mistake.
I'm just wondering, is that those robo-taxis?
No, these are police cruisers. Okay. They're blowing up police cruisers, dropping cinder blocks off the interstate overpass. They're trying to kill people. But you can't do it. It can't be allowed. Of course, they're all masked up and you can't identify them.
I haven't seen anybody.
And of course, they
mask.
take the opportunity to go in and break into every 7-Eleven and grab everything they can. It's just terrible. It's so wrong. There's no justification at all.
And unfortunately, this kind of thing, these riots attract other people who...
Well, they're paid people, too. A lot of them are paid. They're instigators. We know how it works in the George Floyd stuff, all that. Mm-hmm. The difference here is the L.A. police chief and the mayor, Karen Bass, and Governor Newsom. What? He didn't show up till Sunday.
Right.
And then he's blaming Trump. He's instigating everything. They were burning things Friday night. Donald Trump saw it and said, I'm going to federalize the National Guard so I control them.
Yeah.
And he did. And so they're trying to keep law and order. There's these flash bangs that can land near you and go boom. And if you don't get out of the way, you might get hurt.
Right.
Anyway, we'll continue to track. Has nothing going on in L.A. It's 5:27 a.m.
Well, let's hope they can get things under control right away.
Well, they're going to try and do stuff, and then they're going to blame Donald Trump, which is like old school. It's just the same script. It's unbelievable. You can't send Marines. Yeah, you can, actually. You can send Marines in. You send whatever you do to keep law and order. You think there's not millions of people in Los Angeles going, thank God, somebody's doing something, as opposed to letting stuff burn? And you burn down buildings and cars? I mean, this is their goal. It's anarchy. And the people, you want to talk, I'm out of time in this segment, but in the next segment, I'll play a guy that is mentally deranged. And we got him on camera and we got him on audio.
Oh, boy.
But it just absolutely, he would never be allowed on the street. He'd be in a mental institution. Absolutely crazy. So that's what we're dealing with. We've been dealing with it. These and the language of... It's FFF. You can't even edit it. And these are women. I saw a 70-year-old woman. FFFF. What kind of life has she lived? Mm-hmm. Totally in absolute conflict with herself. It's just not it's not the same reality. It's just different.
On a lighter note, I know Long Branch Steakhouse is our offer today.
We do have that available, so you can help me calm down by going and getting a $50 Long Branch Steakhouse gift certificate available at GoStever.com.
A meal in downtown Gifford sounds wonderful.
Yep, Wednesday through Sunday, 5 to 9. The filet mignon, the ribeye, which is my favorite, the mac and cheese, which is a staple,
Brussels sprouts,
mashed potatoes.
Asparagus.
Why don't you go eat there?
Why not?
Go to GoStever.com. It's up right now, GoStever.com. So, I also watched my first NBA game.
Yes.
In decades.
Okay.
A few observations.
Okay.
I'll get to that next, too. Again, just a fan.
Tied up a game apiece with Pacers and the Thunder.
Have you watched the game?
Just little bits and pieces.
You haven't sat there for an hour and a half like I did.
I'm wondering if I've ever done that.
Well, try that. Oh, you wouldn't be
back in the Michael Jordan days.
Well, yeah, exactly. But this is different. It's entirely different. Stand by.
We're back. We have Paul Reekin from Dick Van Dyke Appliance World on the air. Paul, what makes buying an appliance at Dick Van Dyke so special?
Well, Chris, it all starts with our service department. We have an in-house service team that's second to none. And Chris, is that a dog in the back?
Max, keep it down. Have a snack, buddy. Go ahead, Paul.
With our in-house service team, we have our free 10-year protection plan included on most appliance purchases.
Paul, sorry. Let me close the window here.
Should we start over? Or?
Nope, we are on the air.
All right, so with our free protection plan, we also give you a lifetime discount on the service call even after the 10 years runs out.
Hey, cut it out for a second. Sorry, Paul, I have a basement remodel going on. Did you say a service call discount for the life of the appliance? Uninterrupted discounted service?
Uninterrupted discounted service.
For the life of the appliance. Uninterrupted, huh? I like that.
No interruptions. The kind of service that makes Dad say, wow.
When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Los Angeles cops on guard this morning following days of immigration raid protests.
We approached our first roadblock here just around 3 a.m. We got within, I would say, about 30 yards. We were, one of our security guys was waving his badge out the window. Those police didn't stop to take a look at that badge. They dropped a flashbang grenade right in front of our vehicle from 30 yards. We obviously withdrew from that roadblock pretty darn quickly.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt in L.A. 300 state National Guard troops on the ground under the direction of President Trump. That number could increase to 2,000. Officials expect protesters to return soon. California Governor Gavin Newsom says he's suing the president over the use of the National Guard. High-level trade talks in London between the U.S. and China, hoping to find some sort of common ground on trade. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A man faces charges on the stabbing of an 8-year-old boy in Rantoul. Police say Henry Carr arrested following the domestic incident last Tuesday in the 1200 block of Falcon Drive. The child is still hospitalized. Carr charged with aggravated battery to a child under 13. He was reportedly in a relationship with the boy's mother. Gibson City teacher and coach charged with sexually abusing a student. On March 30th, Gibson City police officers met with the parents of a GCMS student who said their child had been receiving concerning text messages from Robert Dinkins. At that time, Dinkins, an 8th grade teacher, 8th grade basketball coach, and middle school track coach. After 33 years with the Urbana Park District, Executive Director Tim Bartlett retires. During his tenure, he oversaw numerous projects and innovative programs that enrich the lives of community members of all ages and backgrounds. District states Bartlett led the community with compassion, humility, and integrity. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Well, Busey's been around 155 years. Busey, for all your banking needs, member FDIC. Kurt Lenschow, State Farm Insurance. What do you need? Home, auto, life. Kurt Lenschow, like a good neighbor, Kurt and State Farm are there. Let's check meteorologist Greg Solier and see what he's got.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign and vicinity. Nice spell of June weather ahead for the first half of the week. A little more humidity in the air, more warmth as well, and a couple of frontal boundaries that'll waffle across the area, stall on out, and that'll increase rainfall chances come Friday and into the weekend. Matter of fact, a system in from the north and northwest may trigger a afternoon or evening shower or thunderstorm at a couple of spots, especially from Champaign north and east. Highs today with a partly sunny sky developing at 78 and a gusty southwest wind clearing off mid to late evening for tonight. We'll bottom out at 56 for the day tomorrow. Mostly sunny, pleasant, the high around 77. On Wednesday and Thursday, it'll be an early summer-like feel at 85 Wednesday, 88 on Thursday. Then for Friday into the weekend, a couple of frontal boundaries waffling through the area, Gulf moisture and some daytime heating. Maybe a shower thunderstorm by afternoon on Friday at 85. Scattered showers, thunderstorms over the weekend, but dry time as well. Saturday high of 83, up to 82 for the day on Sunday. We'll keep you posted right here for Stevie J Broadcasting. I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel?
Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Hey, all you backyard chefs and grill gurus, barbecue season is here, and I know that you're anxious to fire up that smoker or grill, but your yard needs mowed. Yes, your wife is getting hangry, but that grass isn't going to cut itself. What's an aspiring pitmaster going to do? Get the world's fastest mower, of course, a Dixie chopper from Dedicated Diesel in Urbana. They carry a full line of Dixie choppers from the Z2 and Magnum residential models up to the big Excalibur and classic commercial machines that can mow nearly 8 acres an hour. This is award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstott, and whether I'm cooking low and slow or hot and fast, I always have time to savor the flavor because my mowing time is cut down by Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest mower. Get your Dixie Chopper at Champaign-Urbana's only dealer, Dedicated Diesel, at 1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana, 217-328-0562.
All right, you can text in the Fisher National Bank text line. Saw Ryan Heiser and his wife at church yesterday.
Okay.
President of Fisher National Bank. Anyway, 217-359-2255. If you would like to text in this morning, we have somebody who suggests that these might not just be spontaneous protests.
That's right. Rick had said Steve and Diane, the protesters, are mainly bought and paid for. The language and conduct is who we have become as people. It's very sad. We always say that word. We always say that is not who we are, but we are.
Okay. This was yesterday.
Yes, Captain Raul Javel, Operations Central Bureau, Incident Commander. At least, this is very fluid and preliminary, at least 10 people arrested so far. There's arrests being made as we speak. About 3 officers injured. Fortunately, very fortunate on very minor injuries, or I wouldn't say not minor, but they're not significant enough to be transported to a local hospital. They were treated at the scene. But we're making more arrests as we speak, and we're trying to get into that posture where we're able to make arrests. Right now, really, our officers are really under attack. If you can see when the chief was talking about, we're trying to, first of all, ensure that our officers are safe and the public is safe, and then we'll move into, if we can arrest, we'll arrest, and then obviously protect the property and our vehicles and other things like that. But as of now, 10 arrests.
Okay, and so here's natural sound. A couple of guys are going straight into the police with their motorcycles. Not a good idea. And there are people waving whatever flag that they want you to see, and all this stuff. And yeah, when you say paid, there are definitely some that are paid. Johnny was in a taxi with 2 young ladies in Washington, D.C. when Trump was inaugurated in 2017. And they were talking to each other saying, what are we protesting? They said, I don't know. We find out when we get there. They're getting $2,500.
Right.
To which I said, what do I have to do?
It was kind of a working spring break for those ladies.
Yeah,
and they were just going to a certain address to pick up their sign.
$2,500?
Hey.
What am I protesting again?
Hey, let's hold this sign for 5 hours. All good. I'm getting some sun.
Man, it's nuts. So here's that. Okay. And then here's the guy I said was mentally ill. This guy was really scary, actually. Kind of looked like an animal the way he was screaming. You could see his tonsils. Walking around in L.A., you got that going on for you at least.
Wow.
No, he was just, his eyes were bugged out. It was scary. This is just a protester, really adamant about today's current issues didn't know where there's no way.
Okay.
So you've got such a mix of people, and they don't think you should deport anybody. They don't think there should be anybody stopped at any border anywhere. And that's just what I am a firm believer in law and order, and that if you break the law, there are consequences of that, and that you can't just walk into America. Nobody else in the world does this. Does that give us a clue? No other organized, civilized country allows anybody to come and go. You don't do it. Why? Because the guys that get here, they're terrible. Not the majority, but tens of thousands are really bad people.
Mm-hmm.
Out of your 50 million or 20 million or 9 million, nobody knows the number. Nobody. It just streamed across the border, and that was a good idea for 4 years. So now we're going to be dealing with it for decades. Absolute decades of families that never be the same because they're going to be victims of crime. It's horrible.
Well, it's too bad because there's so many immigrants that are hard workers and then are trying to get here and go through the proper procedures. For instance, the circus just came to Tolono, and they have a lot of great help from people from various countries. And I talked to a bunch of them. But they're saying, we're hurting right now because we don't have the kind of help that we usually have because people are afraid.
Well, if they're illegal, they need to be. You can't just come here and not pay the price. That's what I think. I mean, they've been here twice. Ronald Reagan had an amnesty program. If you want to do some of that like they did in the 80s for people that have been here 24, they have to learn English. They have to pay restitution. They have to do something for the crime.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, what law can I bend? Tell me. And then we'll all bend our own laws. We can't have civilization like that. You're going to have chaos.
And that seems like what Trump was saying to the people in L.A. is law and order.
Well, he's emboldened the people he can control, and to say we're not going to do that. When those kids are pouring buckets of water on the New York City police officers, it just hurt me.
So disrespectful.
Well, they're just laughing, and the guys couldn't do anything. What do you mean you can't do anything? You grab them and put them in the squad car and handcuff them. Take them to juvie. Whatever. You just can't tolerate. You get what you tolerate, as Mike Ditka always said that. You get what you tolerate. And if you tolerate homelessness and the streets full of drugs, that's what you're going to have. Everybody loves it because they don't care.
Well, when I was seeing the burning of a flag there in L.A., it seemed like most of the people gathered around had their cameras out to get some kind of, we used to call it B-roll back in the day.
And you go stomp that out and see what happens to you.
Right.
You'll be hurt. It's just disgusting. And those that died for the flag, or the flag means so much to all of us, you're watching that, and Mexican flags. So what, they invaded us now, and they control L.A. Highway 101? What's it mean?
Right.
No, I don't think that's going to stand. I think they'll grab hold of this fairly quickly because he'll send whatever he needs to send to support that, Donald Trump. But yeah, no, the position of the Democrats fully, it's all Trump's fault. And kind of the philosophy that my daughter-in-law at the Chicago Public Schools had with the 7-year-old that would be triggered by something, and then would tear up the room mercilessly while the class filed out in the hall and waited 3 hours till he calmed down. That was the policy. You wait 3 hours for the kid, and then you go back in to clean up the room. The kid has calmed down. He gets a star for helping. Does that make any sense to anybody?
Wow.
Okay.
That was coming out of the COVID chaos. Let's hope we've regained
That was
control
before
since
COVID.
then.
It was before COVID.
Oh, man.
It was just
in the Chicago schools area.
Chicago public schools in Chicago. It's just out of hand, and we've allowed it, and now what? Watts Copy Systems, they offer cost-efficient solutions to busy offices. If you want a free evaluation, call them at 217-352-0428. Okay, to the NBA. I can't remember when I watched an NBA basketball game, let alone the finals. I don't know.
Okay, so this was game 2 in Oklahoma City, beat the Indiana Pacers, and it seemed like the whole game, Oklahoma City's Thunder was on top.
But what struck me is that this is different. This isn't the Chicago Bulls, which might have been the last time I really followed basketball in the NBA.
Really exciting in
I
the
got
90s.
fired up in the 70s. I used to watch it. They had one game of the week in 1974. You could watch the NBA on TV, and it was really exciting, and nobody watched, but who cared? I liked it.
Right.
And then somebody named Larry Bird and Magic Johnson came, and we all started watching more. Then Michael Jordan came, and then everybody watched, like Tiger Woods. So the evolution is, so I'm pretty current here in the last 25 years, I'm not at all current. I have no idea. These guys play like they shave. It's routine. It's 82 games. Get to the playoffs and turn it up. So they turned it up last night. These are the best athletes in the world, absolutely turning it to a 10. What I saw is a game I don't see. This is not college basketball. Kasparis, Jonas,
yes.
Will Riley,
yes.
I'll see you in 6 years.
Okay,
because
they'll have some time to just kind of go through the training.
You can't play right now. You're 18, 19 years old, so you're going to play. You're good enough. That's eventually, maybe. Ayo Dosunmu, fantastic, gets to play in the league. I didn't see Ayo out there. What I saw, these human specimens, a lot of them 6'11", that can dribble between their legs and go to the basket and just pound you. The physicality of all was stunning. It wasn't Kofi Coburn. It wasn't, Josh Edey, whatever's, forgot already. Josh Edey?
No. Zach
Edey. Zach can play. And
how did I pull that
You can
up?
be a basketball player, but you're not that.
Right.
None of the guys I've seen at Illinois are that. Maybe Terrence Shannon, honestly. He's already proven a little bit if he gets time to play, but he's 23, 24. He's played. He was ready to play in the NBA.
Well, and Zach Edey at 7'4" is with the Grizzlies right now.
He's not that.
Re-injured his left ankle, it says.
It's fine. He's a good player. He'll play and make a lot of money, but he's not that. What I saw last night were these specimens that were so athletic and so big, so grizzled, and you're going to come in and take their job? I think not. You're going to get beat up. And I think Kasparis Jonas, wonderful player, but had a ball handling problem in the second half of last season. And he's not. First of all, he's going to get shoved to the ground. These guys, tell you what, I would go to the hospital and hopefully live if I dribbled down the middle. It would go down the lane. It would be just sad. Anyway, it's a different basketball game. I'm glad I watched it. Ben Quattrone, Sarah Champagne, the managing partner, and he told me like 2 weeks ago he sat behind the game up in Minneapolis with Terrence Shannon. He said you can't fathom what you're looking at. You can't the bodies of these men, the length of these men, the talent of these men, the athleticism. These are the best of the best of the best. All over the world, they're trying to get in the league, and they don't want you to take their spot. So you're going to have a little fight on your hands. He said, you can't believe it. So I called him. I said, I didn't get what you were saying, and now I do. That I haven't seen in Illinois outside really Terrence Shannon. Ayo's really good, but Ayo's not even at that level yet. You just got to be able to go to the lane, get beat up, somebody's forearm shivers to your chin, and you got to make the basket too. And no foul call.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what do you mean? He had a forearm shiver to my chin, and I still made the basket. Isn't that and one? No. That's not a foul. Not today, not this league.
Boy.
It's quite impressive from the standpoint of, wrong one, from the standpoint of talent, athleticism, and physicality. And that's why I wait till the NBA Finals, and I never really sat and watched an hour of it. I watch clips like most people do. I don't have any dog in this fight at all. I don't care. But just watching it when you don't care and you're going, dang, that guy was 24 feet out, and he got pushed, and he made it. And he has to get off the ground, and they're 6'10". I saw the short guy who's 6'5". He was short. Everybody's so big. 217-359-2255. You have any thoughts on my analysis, my professional analysis that's been dry for 25 years? Yeah, Michael. Go, Michael.
There you go.
I am out of it, man. The Bulls didn't look like that.
I was reading about the Chicago Sky. They've lost to the Indiana Fever 79-52, but a painful-looking knee injury for a 15-year WNBA veteran going down in the first quarter, immediately crying out in pain, grabbing her right knee. This is Courtney Vandersloot, who's 36, has a torn ACL and will be out for the season.
I didn't know the WNBA was there 15 years. I know it was really small when they started. Now it's something because Caitlin Clark has elevated everything.
That's right.
Anyway, yeah, if she plays Indiana Fever, she's supposed to be coming back really soon. So I hope that she does.
That's right. It's
but that's too bad about
though,
the injury. 36 is getting up there in the NBA.
They have like 10 people surrounding her when she's on the court with cards that are kind of big, so you can't see what's going on and what the trainer's doing, and her wincing in pain, which is an interesting concept.
It's
I've
just
never
like the
seen that
medical
before.
10 in the NFL.
That's right.
But this is on the court. You can't move her, so they block the privacy stuff.
They do.
Yeah.
So,
and everybody's straining to see it. What happened? I want to know.
What happened?
Yeah.
Game 2, we just talked about Oklahoma City over Indiana Pacers, 123-107. So that series is tied at a game apiece. Edmonton Oilers and Florida Panthers in the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs tied up at a game apiece tonight at 7 o'clock. Losers all around when it comes to MLB and our favorite teams. LA over St. Louis. Detroit beat the Cubs. Kansas City over the Chicago White Sox. We'll have the St. Louis Cardinals taking on Toronto, 6:45 here on ESPN 93.5, and the Cubs on US 105.9 at 5:45 in Philadelphia. That's sports. I'm Diane Ducey.
And the Cardinals get Toronto. They've been playing very well. That's tonight.
That's tonight at 6:45.
Okay, 7:50, we'll get meteorologist Greg Solye going, brought to you this morning by Kramer Siding and Window.
Your premier provider for home improvements. If you need siding, windows, doors, outdoor living, sunroom, pergola, explore your options with a company been around since 1955, KramerSiding.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign and vicinity. Nice spell of weather heading into this week, especially the first half of the week. A little more rainfall back in the forecast as well. That is still needed and arriving here towards Friday. Matter of fact, might even spring a stray shower thunderstorm in spots from Champaign on northward this afternoon, becoming partly sunny, breezy up to 78. That southwest wind picking up 12 to 24 and gusty. Tonight, windy, becoming fair early on, and a low down to 56. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, pleasant, light west wind 77. We'll bottom out around 64 tomorrow night. Sunshine and warm up for Wednesday and Thursday. 85 on Wednesday, Thursday high at 88. And a little more humidity sparks a stray shower thunderstorm for the afternoon, particularly Friday, partly sunny at 85 and scattered showers and thunderstorms Saturday, Sunday. Back to dry weather for early next week. Weekend highs of 83 Saturday, 82 on Sunday, and into the 80s for the first part of next week. So warmth and much needed rainfall ahead here the days to come. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solye.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window, a proud member of Prairie Home Alliance. A new front door can instantly upgrade the look of your home and make it more energy efficient. The Kramer Siding and Window team can also install French doors to your deck or patio, welcoming the outside in, or storm doors for an extra layer of protection against the elements. The estimate is free, financing is available, and the business is local. Schedule your beautiful new door today and save 25%. Call us, click on KramerSiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect accent rug or choosing a good night's sleep over an all-night crime show binge. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision, too. That's why State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is right here in Champaign-Urbana to help you select the right protection at the right price. Kurt will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. Just call him when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Enjoy free yoga at Urbana Park District's Meadowbrook Park each Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. No experience needed. All are welcome. Bring comfortable clothes and your yoga mat or a towel. Instructors can modify the exercises to your experience level. Yoga is a great way to exercise and refresh the mind and soul. Make new friends or bring friends. Saturday mornings from 9 to 10 at Meadowbrook Park. Learn more at urbanaparks.org.
Sarah Champagne's Ben Quattrone on keeping his employees.
It's got to be the place to work. We have to pay the best. We have to treat people the best. Some of the guys wanted to order pizza the other day. Well, we bought 30 Papa Del's pizzas. BMW had the best month they've ever had. They said, can we have a cookout? Saturday, I cooked like 50 ribeye steaks. And they were expecting like cheese, burgers and hot dogs and stuff. Like, if I'm eating steak, you're eating steak. We both eat steak, we both eat hamburger.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com. Yeah, this Cooper Flag's going to be the number one pick in the NBA draft, and he's going to take some hits. I mean, he's 19, 18 years old.
Yeah.
So he's not going to come in and be a star.
Right.
He's going to come in and be a Caucasian. There are very few white people playing in the NBA, and I don't care. I mean, I just think the best player should play. I'm not a DEI guy. I'm not a DEI guy, particularly in sports. So I got to have an Asian, a black, a white. Come on, man. Get the best talent. That's the way it ought to be. So the NBA, Cooper Flag will be the top pick. Then everybody else is going to be good eventually. But I am not sold. This Chet Holmgren, who's like 7'1", came out of Gonzaga about 4 years ago, played 1 year, number one pick. Yeah, he's coming on. He's pretty good after 4 years. These guys. And he was the number one pick. It's just going to take time. And you got a 28-year-old that's really good that you've never heard of. And this Tyrese Halliburton, it's okay.
He's the one that's been getting the clutch shots.
He made 4, and nobody's ever done that in the playoffs, but he's okay. He got shut down last night. So they just shove him around a little bit. He's kind of skinny. I mean, great performances and unbelievable run, but he's not anybody that stands out to me as the next Michael Jordan at all. Nothing like that. I mean, the it factor is hard to find in the NBA, and these guys develop. I haven't heard of any of them. They're just all so good. Where'd he play? Oh, Iowa State? Okay. You find these people at the University of Mars, they're just great.
Right.
They're just great. And I've never heard of them in my life. So the college is one thing. The amazing attention, now the money they're getting, all that's amazing. But keep in mind the, quote, stars of the NBA are making $60 million a year now, Diane. A year.
Wow.
The soccer stars. What did Beckham make? $150 million a year? That's global.
Right.
So a little more reach, as they say. All right, I'm going to duck out. Diane is going to have the comm here in the next hour. And you're going to hear Jonathan Hunt again at 8:35. If you missed that, we talked to the chief correspondent, Fox News in L.A., and he said the law enforcement not goofing around at all. They even shot his car with a flashbang within 2 yards of their vehicle, and they scattered because they don't care who you are. You don't come near us. And that's what they're doing. So it's pretty tense out in Los Angeles. We pray for de-escalation and calmer heads. And some of these protesters have a purpose. They're being paid. And their purpose is pretty much chaos and blame Donald Trump. That's what I get out of it so far. But we'll keep tracking. All right, again, Stever, would you like a steak dinner at Long Branch Steakhouse? I'm handing out $50 bills if you are so inclined. If you're not a member of the Thousands of People Club, because others have noticed that there's a radio dude giving out money, and that's kind of what we've done here for a while. I'll give you $50 to go eat there. I'm not going to pay the whole way, but it'll get you a good part there for two people.
It's a wonderful experience as you head to downtown Gifford.
You guys go to Gifford quite a bit. I think your car could drive there by itself.
Exactly.
So if you are interested in that, you just go to...
GoStever.com?
Yeah, I got it up there.
Okay.
It's there, sitting there. So
all right.
Click, and then you'll get an email after 8 tonight if you're one of our winners. Okay, on you go. Thank you. Diane's got the next hour. I'm Stevie J. Have a good rest of your day. We'll talk tomorrow.
Next week on an all-new Law and Order.
Order! We convene here for case 217, Spring Green versus Weeds. Spring Green, the floor is yours.
The weeds are infectious. The weeds steal the beauty from your lawn. We offer personalized lawn care, a mid-season checkup, and a simple and transparent process. Just click on to spring-green.com for a quote.
Okay, Spring Green wins. Weeds, you're out.
That's spring-green.com.
Well, I tell you what, though, A&R has been such an amazing, impactful company. Your grandfather, your dad, you've all gone through stuff. And your secret is what, John?
Well, I mean, you have to trust that you're doing the right thing, first of all. And you got to surround yourself with good people. And I think over the years, we've had some really good people that have been part of A&R. And we owe a lot of our success, if not all of it, to those people.
Neil, you could say A&R has built a great part of Champaign-Urbana. It's about people. Can you explain the culture, why people would want to work at A&R?
We've had several families where we've gone even 3 generations. And these guys are long-term employees. They want to stay with us. And it's rewarding to know that they want to be with us. We have their backs. They have our backs. And that's a unique perspective, I think, from anybody this day and age.
I'm positive because you're such a solid company. A&R Mechanical, a thriving leader 100 years later.
As the weather heats up, the sports action heats up at Circus Sports Illinois. From baseball to basketball to hockey, Circus Sports has it all. Circus Sports Illinois isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High betting limits, tight money splits, and exceptional customer service. Whether you're looking for playoff futures or props on your favorite players and more, Circus Sports has you covered. Download the Circus Sports Illinois app or visit circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana. Your home.
Will there be more protests and clashes with law enforcement today? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. It's been 3 days of it so far in Los Angeles, angry over illegal immigration raids.
Protests need to be peaceful, period.
That's Mayor Karen Bass, but they weren't peaceful yesterday when things escalated with a lot of demonstrators in masks.
We saw the American flag burned. We saw Waymo, which are the robo-taxis, the self-driving taxis that are a common sight on the streets of L.A., set on fire, at least 3 of them, very close to the 101 freeway, which was completely shut down in both directions for a time because of those thousands of protesters. They were met with smoke grenades, tear gas, and some rubber bullet rounds fired by law enforcement.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt in downtown L.A., which is declared an unlawful assembly area. President Trump has Marines on standby to join the National Guard troops he deployed to L.A.
Well, we're going to have troops everywhere. We're not going to let this happen to our country. We're not going to let our country be torn apart.
That has angered Democrats like California Governor Gavin Newsom, who just told Fox 11 TV in L.A.
Donald Trump is reckless. He's immoral. He's taken the illegal and unconstitutional act of federalizing the National Guard, and he's putting lives at risk.
As for the immigration raids Friday that started it all, Borders are Tom Homan just told Fox.
We're arresting bad people. We're enforcing laws and following up on a serious criminal investigation on cartel financing.
A travel ban went into effect this morning that some Democrats call cruel and discriminatory, affecting countries the U.S. says doesn't have proper vetting for those coming here.
President Trump is now disallowing entry to the U.S. by citizens of 12 different nations. Among them are Somalia and Eritrea and Africa, Yemen, Afghanistan, and Iran in the Middle East, but also Haiti in the Caribbean.
Fox's Evan Brown. 7 more countries have partial restrictions, including Cuba and Venezuela. The Treasury and Commerce secretaries are in London, just starting a new round of trade talks with China. America's listening to Fox News.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
2815 Old Jacksonville, Springfield. CordellCordell.com.
Hey, it's Mike Rowe, and if you want to do business with a company that actually stands for something, switch to Pure Talk. I did. Sure, I appreciate being on America's most dependable 5G network with unlimited talk and text for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is Pure Talk's commitment to our military and to our skilled workforce. That matters to me. Save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
After several rounds of ceasefire talks went nowhere, Russia bombards Ukraine yet again.
The Ukrainian Air Force reports 479 drones were launched overnight. Central and western areas of the country were targeted. But Ukraine claims only 10 drones or missiles found their targets. We're told 227 drones and 19 missiles were destroyed mid-flight. The United Nations says Russian drone attacks have killed more than 12,000 Ukrainian civilians in the past 3 and a bit years. Russia insists it only aims for military targets. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
As Israel keeps battling Hamas in Gaza, it's kept a climate activist away. A boat carrying food and aid to Palestinians was intercepted by the Israelis. On that boat was Greta Thunberg, who claims she and the crew were kidnapped. Israel calls it a selfie publicity stunt and diverted the boat to that country. Now, a much different boat story.
In New York City, a boat captain is under arrest after his 35-foot powerboat burst into flames and exploded, forcing nearly 24 people to jump from the ship into the waters and swim for their lives off the Bronx shoreline near Hart Island Saturday night. 33-year-old Joshua Brito facing charges of driving the boat while intoxicated as well as reckless endangerment. One person suffered serious injuries and is in stable condition. 22 others suffered minor injuries. In New York, Sue Guzman, Fox News.
A plane taking off on a skydiving trip crashed in Tullahoma, Tennessee yesterday. All 20 people on board survived. There were some injuries. On Wall Street, rising futures suggest gains to start the week on top of Friday's big surge for the Dow and the NASDAQ. In the NBA Finals, the Thunder tied up.
They only lost 2 in a row twice in the regular season. They have yet to lose back-to-back games.
In the final call on ABC after Oklahoma City beat Indiana 123-107 in Game 2. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. And the Illinois Democratic plan to ban move-in fees and other rental junk fees stalled in the Senate as it was never called to a floor vote. Junk fees that would have been banned include fees that are put alongside an application fee, a lease renewal fee, eviction notice or eviction fee, routine or after-hours maintenance fee, and a fee to set up an online utility account. University of Wisconsin Provost Charles Lee Isbell Jr. set to become the 11th chancellor at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. Isabel Jr. will also take over as the vice president of the University of Illinois system, pending approval by the U of I Board of Trustees. OSF Healthcare Medical Centers in Urbana and Danville merging together as one hospital with 2 campuses. Urbana campus will focus on providing inpatient behavioral health services, emergency services, and inpatient beds, as well as diagnostics, lab, and other clinic offerings will remain at the Urbana campus. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
I hope your morning's going well here on Monday, June 9th. I'm Diane Ducey. Stevie H.J. is tucking out a little early. Greg Solier joining us. This weather looks terrific today, Greg. Nice job.
Yes, it does. It certainly does, Diane. Yeah, we're kind of in between 2 weather systems. One that came through over the weekend with that smattering of showers and thunderstorms, but really roughed up areas of Oklahoma. Again, big hail and severe. They do it down there through Texas that way. And even parts of northern Illinois struck with some hail and high wind from Chicago's western suburbs back to the west. 83 miles per hour winds at that Fermi lab there in Batavia yesterday afternoon and evening time. That system is off across Ohio. Some rains down across parts of southwest Indiana. Separate system upstream across parts of Wisconsin and Iowa may trigger a stray shower or thunderstorm at a couple of spots from here and mainly northward. Even a couple of stronger storms up towards the Kankakee this afternoon and the evening time. Apart from that, nice morning underway for a June 9. 63 now. Willard's Voice. 61 at Rantoul, 63 Danville, 61 Bloomington Normal. Forecast time for the day today up and around, about 78 degrees. That's pretty much on target for the time of year. Gusty southwest wind as the day wears on. Skies will turn partly sunny. And again, after about maybe 2 or 3 this afternoon, we'll keep an eye for a distant shower thunderstorm up to the north of us. That'll move out quickly by evening time. Windy this evening. Fair on the overnight. 56 tomorrow. Mostly sunny. Pleasant 77. Looking for a little more early summer-like warm. You betcha. 85 Wednesday, 88 Thursday, and we'll be in the low to mid 80s Friday right through early next week and probably beyond, and signs of a little more wetter pattern, and we still need rainfall. It's a hit-miss chance on Friday. Again, 85. Better odds over the weekend. Scattered showers and thunderstorms. Dry hours each day. 83 Saturday, up to 82 on Sunday. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm your host, Greg Solier.
Thank you, Greg. Janet Ellis Nelson has joined me in the studio. Hi, Janet.
Hi, Diane.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
We're going to have you lean right into that microphone, and I really appreciate you coming in today. You and I have had paths cross in numerous different areas, and I just wanted to kind of describe how we started. I guess when you were principal at Unity West.
That's right. All 3 of your children went through Unity West when I was the principal there.
That's right. And it's just such a pleasure when you were running the school there. And you had come from Champaign Unit 4?
Yes.
Okay. And almost always you've been involved in Rotary about every step of the way, I feel like.
Well, actually, I was involved in Rotary very early in my career, but it was as the faculty sponsor of Centennial's
Interact Club. Because Stevie's kids, I know, the Kitcheterian triplets at least, were involved in the Interact Club. And that's kind of a partnership with Rotary and introducing kids to different experiences.
Exactly. Interact is the high school service organization, but it is sponsored by Rotary. And Centennial's Interact Club is sponsored by Champaign Rotary.
Okay. So we've got a great event that just happened at the iHotel and Conference
Oh, my goodness.
Center. You looked wonderful. Of course, so proud of your husband, Douglas. And he's known for his work at Bodywork Associates and the massage and pain relief that you can get. But let's talk about what happened at the Action Auction, which is only every 3 years.
That's right. It was incredible. This year, Champaign Rotary honored Hope and Josh Whitman. And what an incredible couple they are. Mm-hmm. And Hope actually participated on the committee, the planning committee, and helped a great deal. And Josh put together all these unbelievable sports packages. Yes. And then we have Dave Revson as our celebrity MC. And Dave actually was talking to Coach Bielema and said, well, I'm going to be down in Champaign on May 30th. And Coach says, why? And he goes, well, I'm coming down to serve as the MC for Champaign Rotary, and they're honoring Josh and Hope Whitman. So Brett Bielema said, well, I want to be there too.
Absolutely.
And he certainly was. He was amazing.
And, you know, with his background, growing up in central to northern Illinois area as a pig farmer, had gone to so many auctions as a kid and kind of had this, you know, bucket list dream of being an auctioneer, and was able to see that to fruition as he auctioned off a football experience with his wife, Jen, and did a wonderful job at that.
Oh, he sure did. And it was quite the surprise. He was only supposed to take 2 or 3 minutes to introduce Josh and Hope. And instead, he did a great job. It was wonderful.
So fun. And did the evening just, 20 grand short of $500,000 raised? Or after things were all tallied, did you get that $500,000 mark? I know 300,000 was the goal.
Well, I don't think they've paid all their bills yet.
Okay,
but they did gross over $500,000.
Man,
so
what an experience.
Very exciting.
And to help literacy in our area was the goal. And books from Breck, and we learned more about that organization and the family there that is giving back to organizations like, for instance, Crisis Nursery will be stocked with all these books. So these young learners can, learn to read and have some, tutors there in their experience with Crisis Nursery, which they had a big gala, the Blue Tie Gala last Friday. My nephew, Austin Ducey, has been active on that board and was a keynote speaker a year or 2 back as the president then. But that was a great event, too. We've been back to back with all these great events, and the iHotel and Conference Center has been a great place to host all of these events.
Yes, it has.
So one of the highlights to work in the room for me in broadcasting was to see a lot of friends in Rotary, and I wanted you to tell us how we're kind of spinning into kind of a membership drive here.
Yes. I am serving as our District 6490's membership chair, and I thought, instead of just having an event for our club, why not have an event and invite all of the clubs in Champaign County? So this Wednesday night at City View, which is on the 4th floor of the Illinois Terminal Building, I am having what's called a Discover Rotary event.
Okay.
So Dish Passionate Cuisine is going to whip up some wonderful hors d'oeuvres. Mm-hmm. And beginning at 5:30, people can come, sign in, have some hors d'oeuvres and drinks, and mix and converse with people for about a half an hour. And then I'm going to give an overview of the history and impact of Rotary International. It'll be a brief history, but with slides so they understand the tremendous organization that Rotary is. And then they will have an opportunity to visit booths for each of the 8 clubs that are in Champaign County.
I don't know if we've ever talked about my international Rotary ties. My dad, Francis Eugene Ducey, was involved in the plasters and cement masons as the business agent and things like that, and was involved in Rotary too. And I was an exchange student back in the day and spent a summer in Germany. And the person that I stayed with lived in our home for 3 months on her summer vacation it was essentially between high school and college in that time of life. It was such a wonderful experience for me.
Rotary's youth exchange program is just incredible.
Mm-hmm. And really life-changing, opened, my eyes to different cultures and different people, and to have a trusted place where I could stay, and then them to show me different things, as did I when I was hosting Zani when she stayed at our house. My sister Mary Jean went through the same kind of thing, and I've been over and visited them, a few times since then. Had you ever had some of these international experiences yourself, Janet?
Well, we've hosted 3 long-term exchange students, and we actually host a student from Japan every summer for a month. Mm-hmm. And our club hosts the students. We have what's called a Yanai ambassador. So we send a student from here, typically in the honors program at the University of Illinois, and they go to Yanai, Japan for 4 weeks, and then they send us one of their students, and it's just been wonderful.
Yeah, that's right. So we have 8 different clubs. I see there's a list here, and it has the different times that they meet. In case you're interested in getting involved in Rotary, it's essentially an online search away. But in our final couple of minutes here, Janet Ellis Nelson here on ESPN 93.5, I'd like you to describe this huge event happening at the old Chanute Air Force Base in Rantoul on Saturday, June 14th between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m.
Yes, our district governor-elect, John Calderon, who will take over July 1st, had the idea because Rotary International has a convention, an international convention every year, and one of the highlights of the convention is called the House of Friendship. And in the House of Friendship, different Rotary clubs put a spotlight on their projects and things that they would like people to get involved in. But there are also lots of businesses that come and promote their business, and so people are able to explore businesses and Rotary service. And John thought, why don't we have a mini House of Friendship? Okay. And so that's what this business expo is. And he got all kinds of wonderful sponsors so that the event will be free. We will have food trucks and ice cream trucks that I think you have to pay for, but there will be all these wonderful booths. I'll be there from 10 to 4 with a membership booth.
Okay.
And there will be inflatables, there'll be
face painting, activities playground, a Pepsi beverage truck, fresh cooked popcorn. You'll also have this all happening at the Flyover Film Studios with tours of this Moving and Shaking we're seeing, with Experience CU having more details on that, of all the movies that are taking place in our community, which is awesome. There's music and over 150 booths.
That's right. That's right, Diane. And following that, we will have our award ceremony for 24-25. District Governor Mike Martin will present awards, and then John Calderon will be installed, and then he will install all of his officers for the year, the club presidents, assistant governors, and district leaders.
Sounds wonderful. And it looks like Mega Auction Events is at it again with a lot of different trip experiences and more. So, wow. How can we learn more, Janet, as we wrap up our interview here? If people want more information and want to get involved either with your event coming up at City View on Wednesday, or this big thing on June 14th between 10 and 4 in Rantoul.
Probably the easiest thing would be to email me at janetnelson1994@gmail.com.
Easy enough. Janet Ellis Nelson, thank you so much for being on the show. We are going to get our weather forecast now from our meteorologist, Greg Soulier. Such a nice start to our June 9th. here at our studios. We appreciate Janet coming all the way down to Philo, Illinois. Her old stomping grounds, though, being in the Unit 7 school district for so long. That's kind of how we met. All right, we'll get our forecast, and then the Fox Business Minute will be on the way, and we'll learn more about the Soda Festival in Mahomet coming up this weekend.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign, and Vicinity. Nice spell of weather heading into this week, especially the first half of the week. A little more rainfall back in the forecast as well. That is still needed and arriving here towards Friday. Matter of fact, might even spring a stray shower thunderstorm in spots from Champaign on northward this afternoon, becoming partly sunny, breezy, up to 78. That southwest wind picking up 12 to 24 and gusty. Tonight, windy, becoming fair early on, and a low down to 56. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, pleasant, light west wind 77. We'll bottom out around 64 tomorrow night. Sunshine and warm up for Wednesday and Thursday. 85 on Wednesday, Thursday high at 88, and a little more humidity sparks a stray shower thunderstorm for the afternoon, particularly Friday, partly sunny at 85, and scattered showers and thunderstorms Saturday, Sunday. Back to dry weather for early next week. Weekend highs of 83 Saturday, 82 on Sunday, and into the 80s for the first part of next week. So warmth and much needed rainfall ahead here the days to come. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
I'm Taylor Riggs, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Warner Brothers Discovery is splitting into two companies, one with its cable channels, CNN, TNT, TBS, and Warner Brothers Cable Channels and international business, the other its streaming and studios business. The move separates most of the Warner Media and Discovery Communications merger from 3 years ago. Warner's dealing with cooling ratings and revenue while competing with Netflix and Amazon. Analysts at Baird are lowering expectations for Tesla shares, saying they see too much uncertainty on too many fronts. They still see Tesla as a core long-term stock to hold. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, and Trade Representative Jameson Greer are all representing the U.S. in trade talks with China today, taking place in London. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda. Invested in you.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network. Listen to the all-new Bret Baier podcast featuring Common Ground, talking to lawmakers weekly from opposite sides of the political spectrum about the issues of the day and how Americans can find common ground in a politicized world.
That's just not happening on Capitol Hill. It takes leadership, right?
Yeah, it absolutely does.
Along with all your Bret Baier favorites like the campaign, the candidates, the all-star panel, and much more. Available now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
At Christie Clinic, our commitment is for the care of our community. That commitment includes keeping care local, where our patients, their families, our clinics, and their hospital of choice are located. Our providers live and work here. It's their passion to care for their families and neighbors. Thank you for choosing Christie Clinic, your hometown provider. When you do, you support the health and well-being of your community.
Make an appointment today at ChristieClinic.com and click on online scheduling. Take care of yourself and put your health first.
This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is not a one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is that we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or online at ProvidentFinancialGroupLLC.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people.
Hope your morning's going well here on Monday, June 9th, ESPN 93.5. I'm Diane Ducey. Stevie J stepping out a little early today. I welcome on our text line from Fisher National Bank, Jennifer Kogel. How are you this morning?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. Executive Director of the Mahomet Chamber of Commerce. Nice job. How long have you been doing that, Jenny?
Thanks. I've been there just a little over 2 years.
Okay. I know because I've been on stage before introducing some terrific acts. The Mahomet Music Festival is what, the third weekend of August? Is that typically when we reserve those dates?
That's correct.
Man, it's going to be awesome again this year. Let me see. I think it was Parmalee. I didn't do my prep sheet beforehand, but I know last year with Dylan Scott and Drew Baldwin.
Yeah, it was great.
Really great. I want to say there was 20,000 people there. I think
so.
There was a photographer there for the Chamber of Commerce, and she's like, "Let's get some selfies. Let's get some pictures of the crowd." I'm like, "Absolutely! Come on stage with me." And Jerry Moorfield, who's from Mahomet, he's a radio personality from back in the day. It's just a blast. But you've got something coming up in that area. It's kind of a festival area. It's really nice in downtown Mahomet to host something like the Soda Fest.
Yes.
So tell us all the details.
So it's our 6th annual Soda Fest. It will be happening on Saturday, June 14th, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And it's down there in that same space, right downtown there, in what they call the Freedom Plaza area. We've got, it's just a great, fun-filled, something for the whole family day. There's a kids area with some bounce houses and some fun things there. We've got food trucks. There's some live music. It's all local this year. There's vendors that will be selling their items. And then, of course, the soda. So there's approximately 100 sodas to taste and sample that day.
What? Wait, Jenny. Hold on. 100? So, I can think of root beer and, the colas and, the 7-Up Sprite lemon lime flavors. But
sure.
Orange, grape, 100 different flavors?
Well, there's 100 different sodas. So there might be a duplicate of, they're coming from different companies. So, there may be a few root beers to try, a few grapes, if that makes sense. But there are some. Yeah, but there are some really crazy flavors and way more than you'd think. But there will be about 100 there to try, and then you can purchase bottles to take home with you.
Okay. So I went to this last year with my family, and I wondered how this would work. And, samples are in a teeny tiny little cup, right?
Yes.
And then the person is handing you the cup, pouring it for you, and then you're sampling that. And then again, like you said, you're deciding whether I want to take home some of this pickle juice flavored soda or whatever the crazy flavor is, which is great.
Exactly.
So, and some of us know this from Homer used to do this back in the day, didn't they?
That's correct. Yes.
So you guys have inherited from there. Okay.
Correct. Yep. Exactly.
So the hours again in that Festival Plaza area in Mahomet coming up on Saturday, June 14th.
10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay, it's all day, and they're doing the soda all day.
They're doing the soda all day, and we've got awesome. We have some local businesses and organizations that volunteer to pour the sodas, so they're out there all day representing their businesses, and it's just a really great day for the whole community. We bring in approximately 3,000 people through the event, and encourage people coming through to, enjoy the event and then also experience everything we've got in Mahomet. We've got some great restaurants and shops and, businesses all throughout, both downtown and in the new development, and just really all throughout.
Awesome. So how do we get more information about the timeline, maybe some of your musical performers and offerings as we wrap things up here? Jennifer Kogel, Mahomet Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, so you can find everything at visitmahomet.com. And there's a Soda Fest page with all of the information there. You can also go to Visit Mahomet on our Facebook page. So
visit Muhammad.com. Easy enough. Sure. All the best with the Soda Fest coming up on Saturday, June 14th. Nice to meet you, Jenny.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Always in touch with what's happening with our community here on ESPN 93.5. And if you missed some of the details, you can always go to our website for kind of hearing the interview back as you tap into the podcast at steviejay.com.
When the storm rolls in, where will you go? Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your family with a custom storm shelter from Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services. At Berg Tanks, their shelters are fiberglass and plate steel safe rooms that can be installed in your garage or exterior, in ground, or on a concrete pad. Built to withstand the toughest storms, giving you a safe, secure place when you need it most. Whether you need a compact unit for a small space or a larger shelter for the whole family, they've got you covered. Their expert team handles everything from excavation to installation so you can have peace of mind before the next storm strikes. Berg Septic also specializes in septic pumping, new system installation, grease trap cleanings, repairs, and maintenance plans to keep your home running smoothly. Call Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services today at 217-367-8632 or visit them online at bergtanksinc.com. That's BERGtanksinc.com.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. The LAPD steps up with roadblocks around downtown LA, backing up 300 California National Guard troops under command of President Trump after a weekend of escalating ICE protests.
Sunday is when the protesters came out in their thousands here in downtown LA, and things really became chaotic and extremely violent. At one point, the protesters took over parts of the 101 freeway, which goes right through the heart of downtown. They were setting on fire some of those Waymo vehicles.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt. The White House says Governor Newsom was too weak to protect the city. Newsom is suing President Trump to pull the National Guard, claiming a breach of sovereignty. President Trump has 500 California-based Marines on standby, while his top trade team is in London meeting the Chinese delegation to make a deal on trade and China's tool of cornering the rare earth minerals market. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. University of Wisconsin Provost Charles Lee Isbell Jr. set to become the 11th chancellor at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. Isbell Jr. will also take over as the vice president of the University of Illinois system, pending approval by the U of I Board of Trustees. OSF Healthcare Medical Centers in Urbana and Danville merging together as one hospital with two campuses. Urbana campus will focus on providing inpatient behavioral health services, emergency services, and inpatient beds, as well as diagnostics, lab, and other clinic offerings will remain at the Urbana campus. And the Illinois Democratic plan to ban move-in fees and other rental junk fees stalled in the Senate as it was never called to a floor vote. Junk fees that would have been banned include fees that are put alongside an application fee, a lease renewal fee, eviction notice or eviction fee, routine or after-hours maintenance fee, and a fee to set up an online utility account. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim. I'm Diane Ducey. Stevie J tiptoed out a little early this morning here on ESPN 93.5, but we made this offer earlier today from Long Branch Steakhouse, 310 South Main Street in downtown Gifford. If you'd like $50 on your meal, we can take care of you. Long Branch Steakhouse, Donnie, his son Hunter. It's a great experience. All you need to do is go to gostever.com and get you and a friend ready to go to Long Branch. We'll let you know at the end of tonight if you're a winner.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign and vicinity. Nice spell of June weather ahead for the first half of the week. A little more humidity in the air, more warmth as well, and a couple of frontal boundaries that'll waffle across the area, stall on out, and that'll increase rainfall chances come Friday and into the weekend. Matter of fact, a system in for the north and northwest may trigger a afternoon or evening shower or thunderstorm at a couple of spots, especially from Champaign north and east. Highs today with a partly sunny sky developing at 78 and a gusty southwest wind clearing off mid to late evening for tonight. We'll bottom out at 50. 86 for the day. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, pleasant, the high around 77. On Wednesday and Thursday, it'll be an early summer-like feel at 85 Wednesday, 88 on Thursday. Then for Friday into the weekend, a couple of frontal boundaries waffling through the area, Gulf moisture and some daytime heating. Maybe a shower thunderstorm by afternoon on Friday at 85. Scattered showers, thunderstorms over the weekend, but dry time as well. Saturday high of 83, up to 82 for the day on Sunday. We'll keep you posted right here for Stevie J Broadcasting Meteorologist Greg Solier.
Are you or a loved one 65 and older and need to schedule your free annual Medicare wellness visit? An annual Medicare wellness visit allows you and your healthcare provider to establish a personalized prevention plan for your healthcare. Call your Christie Clinic primary care provider to learn more and schedule your free annual Medicare wellness visit. Stay well with Christie Clinic.
Make an appointment today at ChristieClinic.com and click on online scheduling. Take care of yourself and put your health first.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
Neighborhood Nights with the Urbana Park District will feature different bands every Wednesday night from 6:30 to 8 p.m., performing in various Urbana parks presented by the Music Shop.
On Wednesday, June 11th, come to Lake House Park and check out Painkillers Blues Band.
There's free popcorn and lemonade, along with fun activities and community resources. Bring your lawn chair out Wednesdays throughout the summer starting at 6:30. Learn more at urbanaparks.org.
Attention drivers. When it comes to your car, trust matters. That's why savvy drivers choose PDR Automotive for top-notch service and unbeatable quality. From routine maintenance to complex repairs, their team of expert technicians has the skill and experience to keep your vehicle running smoothly. At PDR Automotive, customer satisfaction is their priority, and they won't rest until your car is back on the road performing at its best. Visit PDR Automotive in Urbana today, family-owned and operated for more than 50 years. They're what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Thanks for listening to ESPN 93.5. Hope your Monday, June 9th is going well. Earlier today, Stevie J catching up with Jonathan Hunt, Fox News, LA-based chief correspondent, to find out what's happening in LA.
He is Los Angeles-based chief correspondent for Fox News, Jonathan Hunt, the talented one. How are you? And good morning. And oh my gosh, where were you when you first heard something's going on in LA? Friday night?
Good morning to you guys. Yeah, I was actually on air hosting Fox News at Night Friday night when this really started kicking off in terms of the protest. And it was interesting. I was watching our live shots with the pictures coming in, obviously, and it struck me then that the LAPD was moving pretty slowly, and that has been one of the complaints of federal agents here, and of course of the Trump administration, that the LAPD didn't move quickly enough. That was one of the reasons President Trump cited for sending in, federalizing and sending in members of the National Guard. And as I sit here now in downtown L.A., the presence of the National Guard is very, very obvious. They're outside the Metropolitan Detention Center where I am right now, guarding that facility, which has been a particular target for the protesters, and they are at various points around downtown L.A. The police presence now wasn't on Friday night, but now is huge, and I can tell you it is a very, very tense situation here. No protesters on the streets, hardly at all, at what is, after all, 4:30 in the morning here, but more protests planned for today, so it's going to remain very tense on the streets of L.A.
Okay, so who's funding this, Jonathan? Do we know?
Who's funding the protest?
Yeah, who's bringing all these cinder blocks in big bulk pallets? Who's doing that?
Well, I can't tell you who specifically is funding this, but obviously we have seen in the past these protests are organized. There are various organizations behind them. You can find them all on X, formerly Twitter. They're calling for these protests. They're gathering people up. And obviously, you know, we have to be honest as well. Any kind of protest always has some level of organization. That is how it becomes a protest. You get these calls for people to get out on the streets. So there is organization in that sense. But yeah, there are there are organizations behind this that have mobilized from the beginning of the first Trump administration. In reality, they are determined to make their point. There are a lot of pro-immigration groups here in the LA area. They are part of this as well. So, yeah, there are funds available, and there are plenty of people available to come out on these streets in a city like LA, which has so many immigrants, such a big immigrant culture. Obviously, there are a lot of people touched by this, a lot of people willing to get out on the streets. And then, as the LAPD chief said yesterday, not all of these are simply pro-immigrant protesters trying to protect what they see as a good cause, the cause of immigration. There are also, as the LAPD chief said, plenty of people in these protests that are essentially professional protesters. The LAPD chief Jim McConnell said yesterday, these are the people we've seen before in the George Floyd riots, in the anti-Wall Street riots, all of those things. They see the same people. They know who they are. They're here on the streets again over the last few days, and they are the ones driving the violence.
Okay, so we saw a lot of fires. We heard other news outlets say these are peaceful protests again, which wasn't accurate. I saw these blazes going, gasoline going on police cruisers. I mean, are you safe? How far away does Jonathan Hunt have to stay from this?
Well, we just got down here early this morning and say not a lot of protesters on the streets right now. I'll tell you one thing. Nobody, in terms of law enforcement, is playing around down here this morning. We rolled up around 3 a.m., came towards our first roadblock. We have security with us who all have law enforcement badges. One of them put that badge out the window as we approached the first roadblock. They did not care. They dropped a flashbang grenade literally 2 yards in front of our car from a distance of about 40 yards. It was a clear signal. Get out of here. Do not even approach us. We don't care who you are. We drove around downtown a bit. We found another roadblock that we're able to get to. But, yeah, there's a safety issue for everybody here. You know, these police officers, it's really difficult to tell who is who at any time these days. And you get a lot of protesters, as we've seen over the past few years, who will impersonate the media. So everybody's on edge. And, yeah, frankly, it's a dangerous situation. We have security with us. We for better or worse, we've been through a lot of this, a lot of tense situations. We know you go by a gut feeling of what you think is safe, and we work as a team, and we keep everybody as safe as we possibly can. And God willing, we'll stay safe over the coming days, however this plays out.
All right, last minute with Jonathan Hunt. He is LA-based chief correspondent for Fox News. Jonathan, any buzz or on social media about what to expect on this Monday, or do they wait till the weekends? Do they regather? Do we send Marines in? Do you know any more?
Well, certainly the protesters are regathering at 11 a.m. local time here in L.A. They have called for a protest in Grand Park, which is right in the heart of downtown. And the way these things usually work, they gather in one place and then they start moving towards these, in this case, federal buildings. Right where I am, the Metropolitan Detention Center, we would expect to be a target again. So, yeah, there will be protests. Whether they get as many as they did over the weekend, anybody's guess at this point. But they are organized. They are ready to go again. The National Guard is very ready, though, I can tell you that. There are 300 of them on the streets right now. There are more available at a moment's notice. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No. I was just going to say it took 12 hours before it's all Donald Trump's fault, by the way. I've noted that. So it's just always going to be Donald Trump's fault. Always. Jonathan, you're a terrific journalist. We really enjoy watching you on Fox News. You do a great job. Stay safe, and thanks for the minutes.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on. Thanks.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Hi, this is Kevin Rogers, president of the Philo Exchange Bank. Our bank's been through the ups and downs of the local agricultural community since 1883. With over 147 years of combined lending experience, let our local ag lenders work with you and help your farming operations succeed. Philo Exchange Bank, hometown community banking since 1883, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
Well, congratulations to the Central Maroons beating Mahomet Seymour with a walk-off homer in the 11th inning from Luke McClure. Way to go. So that sets up Coach John Staub to meet Troy Triad tonight at 6 o'clock in Decatur at Milliken for the Super Sectionals. So we're rooting on Central to go all the way. And a great season from the Mahomet Seymour Bulldogs. When it comes to baseball, all our favorite local MLB teams losing yesterday. LA Dodgers over the St. Louis Cardinals 7-3. And that'll set up a series against Toronto with a 6:45 start here on ESPN 93.5. I've got your Redbird recap.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. The Cardinals were going for the sweep of the Dodgers yesterday, but the Dodgers wouldn't let them. LA got out of town with a 7-3 win.
Clayton Kershaw continues to pitch well against the Cardinals in regular season at least, and it is Michael McGreevy picking up the loss yesterday. He drops to 1-1. Although he gave up runs early, stayed in the game, was able to go 6.
He gave up 3 in the second inning, 1 in the fourth. The Cardinals didn't give up another run until the 7th inning when Mookie Betts hit a home run to make it a 5-2 game.
The only home run the Dodgers hit in the series, and they're pretty good at that.
Freddie Freeman had just 1 hit in the series.
And he was 0 for 5 yesterday, but the Dodgers still managed 7 runs on 10 hits to avoid the sweep.
7-3 the final for the Dodgers. The Cardinals welcome in the Blue Jays tonight. And it's going to be Jose Barrios, 2-2 for Toronto. Andre Palante, 4-3 for the Cardinals. Airtime tonight, 5:50.
And when it comes to the Cubs, Detroit blanked the Cubs 4-0. So they'll send Matthew Boyd on the mound in Philadelphia with a 5:45 start over on US 105.9. Looks like Zach Wheeler's taking the mound for the Phillies. Kansas City beat the Chicago White Sox 7-5 yesterday. On to Game 2 of the NBA Finals with Oklahoma City taking down the Indiana Pacers 123-107, holding Tyrese Burton to 17 points in that game. A lot of times the Pacers have been clutch where they're making it come out and coming out in the fourth quarter, but the series is tied at a game apiece now. And Indianapolis will host, first time since 2000, on Wednesday at 7:30. The Edmonton Oilers will be in Florida tonight to face the Panthers in the quest for the Stanley Cup. That is tonight at 7 o'clock. Stanley Cup Series is tied at a game apiece. You are up to date in sports. I'll be back with some forecast from our meteorologist Greg Solier and some great events over the weekend and comments about that. If you want to chime in yourself, it's 217-359-2255 on the Fisher National Bank text line.
Jesse with Lands Drain Cleaning. Do you have your sewer line cleaned every year? Are you constantly getting roots or blockages? Why deal with that headache year after year? Call Lands Drain Cleaning today at 217-355-5512 to have our expert staff come out, clean your line. We give you a free camera inspection, show you what's wrong, where it's at, and then we can offer you a repair for that problem so you don't have to deal with it again. Lands Drain Cleaning. Why call anyone else?
You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose because you'd do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At Christie Clinic, our commitment is for the care of our community. That commitment includes keeping care local, where our patients, their families, our clinics, and their hospital of choice are located. Our providers live and work here. It's their passion to care for their families and neighbors. Thank you for choosing Christie Clinic, your hometown provider. When you do, you support the health and well-being of your community.
Make an appointment today at ChristieClinic.com and click on online scheduling. Take care of yourself and put your health first.
Downtown Champaign is bringing the heat this summer, and as a member of Champaign Center Partnership, you've got an all-access pass. That means VIP level updates on the Inside Scoop, front row visibility on everything that's shaping up our downtown, midtown, and campus town communities. Right now, downtown Champaign is on fire with the Plaza as your summer playground. Have you checked out the covered stage for performances? Get the details as you enjoy live music and street beats all summer season long. Friday Night Live from 6 to 9. Tuesdays from 3 to 6. Enjoy local produce and tunes with the Champaign Farmers Market. Downtown Champaign Sound Bites gives you lunchtime performers from 11:45 to 1:15 on Thursdays. Champaign Center Partnership with their annual meeting coming up Tuesday, June 24th at 5:30 at Punch Bar and Lounge. Learn more, ChampaignCenter.com. Yeah, I've been happy to be a part of that Champaign Center Partnership group and step up to be an at-large board member. And that Tuesday Farmers Market is something I'm going to have to check out between 3 and 6 over by Big Grove Tavern, right in front of the Orpheum, and that new Festival Plaza I haven't seen up close and personal. I just saw it while it was coming up with so many different changes in downtown Champaign and the festival stage. People are raving that this downtown live scene from 6 to 9 is such a fun time on Friday nights to get into your weekend and experience the live music and different stages and around downtown Champaign. I think 3 or 4 stages. So thanks to the folks at 40 North for pulling together all the details. And again, ChampaignCenter.com can keep you informed also. And I like that Jenna Manilinkas, who's the CEO with Champaign Center Partnership, has also got a tab on there to promote the Champaign County Freedom Celebration, because that's going to be a heck of a 4th of July near the State Farm Center and Memorial Stadium with the new parade time of 4:30, dovetailing right into the evening program where you have the food trucks and the children's activities and the live music. And what I really like there on Lot 31 or Stadium Terrace across from Grange Grove is the meaningful flag ceremony on the 4th of July from our Champaign Fire Department as they retire the colors and they have taps played, and Crystal McCullough is going to sing the national anthem, and essentially on that last note of the national anthem to have the fireworks show and the synchronized patriotic soundtrack. It's going to be a blast. So plan to join us. We have also Champaign County Freedom Celebration with a salute to the farmers and Alvin Decker. Our studios are here in Philo, and I run into Alvin all the time, and the 4 generations of livestock and grain farmers that will get the salute as we anticipate some tractors and different farm equipment from back in the day. In fact, Philo's sesquicentennial will have some of that too, July 17th through the 20th. So take note of all these hometown fun celebrations. And I'm talking about the 4th of July. And if you want to sponsor or donate or get involved, July4th.net. July, the number 4th.net for more information on that. Of course, a lot of people know me as being out and about in my hometown of Tolono, with the Tolono Fun Day Festival happening June 27th and 28th. This year we're featuring, thanks to the Village of Tolono, zip line and an extreme bounce pad and the rock climbing wall both days on Friday, June 27th from 5 to 9 to have the kids experience that, or really anyone who's 300 pounds or less, from what I understand. Or you can also take it in from 2 to 6 on Saturday the 28th. We've got live music. We've got adult beverages at the pavilion for those 21 and up. There's all kinds of carnival and festival food available on our tennis courts at Westside Park. If you want to get in on the 5K experience, that steps off at 6 o'clock on Friday, June 27th. And you need to register right now if you want to get that t-shirt and be a part of the Tolono Twilight Track. So all kinds of great festivities coming up in my hometown of Tolono, and you can learn more about that at TolonoFundays.org. And thanks to everybody who turned out for the Culpeper and Merriweather Circus. Greg's forecast is coming up next.
All right, it's Tim Onstadt, Dedicated Diesel. We love talking to you about Dedicated Diesel. What's news there?
I've got something. I'm tired of looking at this Dixie Chopper Classic 4060 industrial unit. It's got 58 hours on it. It's basically brand new. The MSRP on that unit is $19,273. The MAP price on it, minimum price that we're allowed to advertise, is $14,577. Somebody's going to walk away with that for $11,000. We're going to take $8,000 or $9,000 off of that and just get rid of it.
Wait a minute, you're talking about a $20,000 machine, and I can get this for essentially half off.
Yep, this is a Dixie Chopper Classic. It's got a 40 horsepower Kawasaki engine, 60-inch deck on it. Comes with all the warranty, $11,000, walk out the door. Call Andy at 217-328-0562. Catch him on Facebook at Dedicated Equipment. You can email me at timo@gftlog.com. Get more information, whatever you want to do, we'll get that to you.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign and vicinity. Nice spell of June weather ahead for the first half of the week. A little more humidity in the air, more warmth as well, and a couple of frontal boundaries that'll waffle across the area, stall on out, and that'll increase rainfall chances come Friday and into the weekend. Matter of fact, a system in for the north and northwest may trigger a afternoon or evening shower or thunderstorm at a couple of spots, especially from Champaign north and east. Highs today with a partly sunny sky developing at 78 and a gusty southwest wind clearing off mid to late evening for tonight. We'll bottom out at 56 for the day tomorrow. Mostly sunny, pleasant, the high around 77. On Wednesday and Thursday, it'll be an early summer-like feel at 85 Wednesday, 88 on Thursday. Then for Friday into the weekend, a couple of frontal boundaries waffling through the area, Gulf moisture and some daytime heating. Maybe a shower thunderstorm by afternoon on Friday at 85. Scattered showers, thunderstorms over the weekend, but dry time as well. Saturday high of 83, up to 82 for the day on Sunday. We'll keep you posted right here for Stevie J, broadcasting on meteorologist Greg Solier.
This Father's Day, give your dad the gift of legends. Legendary blues icon Buddy Guy is bringing his Damn Right Encore tour to the Virginia Theater June 24th. You could win tickets for the ultimate Father's Day gift. You don't want to miss this electrifying live performance. Text in Buddy Guy to 217-359-2255 for your chance to win tickets to see Buddy Guy. 217-359-2255. Learn more about the show at thevirginia.org. Yeah, actually, you got to take note of that because the tickets are for Father's Day, and that's coming up on Sunday, the 15th. So we'll get our winner by Friday, June 13th, as you text in Buddy Guy, 217-359-2255, and try to win those tickets to the show at the Virginia Theater on June 24th. I'm Diane Ducey. Enjoy your day, and thanks so much for taking us along here on ESPN 93.5. Listen to the show at steviejay.com.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
What is most important in your life? This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. If you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Your lawn is an important investment. Let Spring Green take care of that lawn. Your local, family-owned and operated Spring Green has been committed to beautifying your neighborhood through quality, service, and professionalism. Spring Green's full program customers are backed by their guarantee of satisfaction. Smart Money Magazine reports that consumers value a home with a well-maintained lawn and landscape up to 11.3% higher than the base price. Why don't you call Spring Green today, 359-2111, or visit them at spring-green.com.
The University of Illinois Police Training Institute has been training police and correctional officers from across Illinois since 1955. 2025 marks the 70th year anniversary, making PTI one of the longest-running academies in the country. On June 28th at Willow Pond Golf Course in Rantoul, become a sponsor or register for the golf outing, with proceeds raised funding the first phase of the relocation plan. Learn more about the Willow Pond Golf Outing June 28th as you visit pti.illinois.edu.